Whenever this video finds you, your life is about to change. And if you're able to focus your attention to the end, you will have the answer to finally change your everyday life forever. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. It is one thing. You have to change your operating system. Yeah. And this is divine timing. You pick up on this frequency because your soul, you're called to change up your life. You're called to improve your life in ways that you've only dreamed about. But there's one thing that you're going to have to do. And you're going to have to totally shift your operating system. Many people, they're working with faulty subconscious programs. Their nervous system is shot and they are operating out of the brain with every decision that they make for their life. So if you're getting this message, you are finally able to make a shift, make a change, and you have to change the way that you operate. Every decision that you make moving forward will not come from your brain. Every decision is going to now come from your sacred heart. That's the green. You know, you might have been on your journey and, you know, you were told, oh, you're going to have to use your brain. You're going to have to use your rational mind. But you're getting this message today because there's a massive shift that's happening inside of you. You are moving into what's called your heart space. And when you start operating your operating system, which is running in the background, when you operate from the heart space, your heart chakra, and you move forward with your free will decisions, you have to know this on your journey. A lot of people didn't know this, but you are making free will decisions. And sometimes you didn't realize that you were making the wrong free will decisions. When it comes from the heart, okay, and you make those decisions from the heart, all of a sudden, your life begins to totally shift. Don't go anywhere, because if you really focus to everything I have to share today, your life is going to change forever. You know, the energies of the world, they've shifted. And you're going to go about your everyday life in these new energies. If you're familiar with this, maybe you're not. This is known as the Schumann resonance. And the Schumann resonance has changed the world that we live in, the world that we're operating out of. And all biological systems are influenced by the Schumann resonance, including our brain waves, our heart. And our heart that emits an electromagnetic field 5,000 times greater than the brain. When you make decisions from the heart, you're actually making them from a more powerful space. A lot of people, they're afraid to follow their heart. You might hear this, you know, you always got to follow your heart. All right, I believe they taught us that in the Sandlot, right? You ever see that movie? Follow your heart and you're going to be all right, kid, right? Because heroes get remembered, but legends never die. On my journey, I set forth to be a legend, to do something that nobody else can do. I left that message a while back, and it lasts the test of time. If you could do something that nobody else can do, would you do it? Or would you be fearful? A lot of people in the world, they operate out of fear. It takes a lot of courage. It takes the courage, the lion heart, to make these decisions. Every move that you make, every decision that you make, when you operate from the heart space, I'm not telling you that it's easy, but you have to shift your consciousness. And once you are making decisions from how you feel in the heart, and instead of the brain, which is actually your third brain. Third brain? That's right. Your brain is actually your third brain, right? You got to go to the heart first, then you're going to check it with the gut, and then you're going to get in that brain. But as I've shared on this channel to millions of people, That demented brain is filled with subconscious programming. And where did we get these programs from? You might have got them from the TV, from people that don't have your best interest in mind. So as we're going through a major shift, your life is about to change. And once you make the shift, and it's really about becoming conscious and aware of this. Earlier on my journey, I didn't realize these things, but that's why God is going to give you these things that are very, could be tough, something that really moves you, if you will. You might say, you know what? I need to go off path. I think we're going to go off path today. You have to go off the path. And when you go off the path, you never know. You see how I go off the path? You never know what you can encounter, right? Now, once you go off the path less traveled, right? The road is a little bumpy, right? You're going to have to be extra alert. My grandfather used to say, be alert, Mikey. You're going to have to be alert. And you like how I acted out for all of you? This is what we need to do. So you're going to have to go off the path, right? The paved path that we're on. Some people like when I walk the paved path. Some people like when I come out in nature. Today, we're going to do both. And this is how I actually operate in my everyday life. I actually do both. You know, there's an old school phrase. You could have your head in the clouds, but you're going to have your feet on the ground. And that's what I've done. You're going to have to be rational, yes, because we have to operate as we go on our journey. But if you don't follow your heart, you're going to be up there. You might go into traffic, all that noise. We turn around and we say, you know what? We're going to where our heart calls us. And, you know, this is our internal GPS navigational system. You better tune in now, kid, right? So, you know, you could have the best of both worlds, and that's what I share with the community. That's the journey of our everyday lives. You know, I'm part of the world, right? But then I disconnect, and then I go to where my heart is calling me. And a lot of people, they're not able to do this. And if you are saying to yourself, heck, you know what? I want to change. I need something different for my life. I need to start living the life that I deserve to live. You know, people, you know, they might have gone out in the world and they started living someone else's life. You want to go full speed ahead. You want to start experiencing everything that you dreamt of as a kid. All right. And I've shared about manifestation. You know, I shared about the things that I held in the Sacred Heart years ago when I was younger. I knew these things when I was a boy. And, you know, even a place like this, you know, this was very special to me when I was younger. Tide's low today, but find the places, find what calls you and the things that sparked, you know, your imagination. All right, where do you get inspiration from? All right, and you're going to get inspiration from the heart space. A lot of people, they're just too afraid and they live in fear. And that fear is going to come from the brain. But if you're able to follow your heart, when you're getting this message, you are going to shift from the rational brain into the heart space. We always have to navigate certain things, right? Like, you know, maybe I have to dress it a certain way. It's extra cold, right? There's certain things that we have to navigate, right? But then there's stuff that, you know, as my Nana once taught me when I was a boy, there's a time for this and a time for that. Whenever you get this message, it is your time to shift. And now we know as we're heading into a very powerful year, it's 2026, it is the one. You are starting brand new. And we all, you know, we had to go through a lot of changes. And energy is the ability to cause change. And that's why when you experience things that are so intense, you know, there's so much energy, it is actually throwing you into the now. A lot of people, they can't live in the now moment. No, they can't. But when you're living in the now moment, when you are starting to say, you know what, I'm going to follow my heart, all of a sudden, you experience so much more. And, you know, I've watched so many people self-sabotage. They self-sabotage love. They self-sabotage their dreams, their vocation. And you know, I've made this my frequency. This is the embodiment over, you know, the past few years, and many people have been watching my journey. Once you make a free will decision, as I did, and then it leads to another, and then it leads to another, and then it becomes what is known as embodiment, all right? And if you're getting this and you say, you know what, I want to change my life. I want to be healthier than ever before. I want to be wealthier than ever before. And I actually want to have a relationship that sparks my soul, that I feel in my heart. A lot of people, they're living their life. They're living their life for the matrix. Are you here to live the matrix life, or are you ready to come out? Are you ready to come out? Come outside the box. I had a dream and a vision, and I could stand out here in the light of Christ today, and this vision is now a reality. You know, the other day I left a very powerful video and a beautiful comment on that video, and the man said, "God bless you. You know, it's amazing to see a science teacher that stood up for the teachings of God," and that's it's not part of the way right now. And really to focus on my journey, it's really become the embodiment, and you know, I can reflect on my journey. You know, I used to teach this lesson on science ethics, and this is how God speaks to you. And I was in a situation, I had to teach this lesson, as I taught every single year, science ethics. And you know, I had a big thing on my plate, a big thing. And you know, everyone said, "Mr. D, you're not going to take that thing?" And I said, no. I said no. Because I'm a man of principle. Oh, you're going to lose millions of dollars. You're going to lose everything. I gained everything. I gained my freedom. Now, I'm bigger than the system itself. And I hope that someone that's getting this message today, make this the year. Make this the year. And don't wait another second. Make this the year that you take back control of your everyday life. If this message inspires you, why don't you smash the like button and share this out to millions of people. You know, this is the science that the world needs to hear. And as I taught my students years ago, and now I teach the whole world, you're all my students now. I can't believe it, right? It's amazing what we do, right? But on the course of your journey, you will never understand the magnitude of what God has put before you, but you feel it in your heart. And even though the rational brain says, oh, but what about the money? But what about this? What about all the people? What about the gaslighting? You're going to go into this place. It's called the sacred heart, and a heart chakra is going to emit that electromagnetic field 5,000 times greater than the brain, and the Holy Spirit is going to move through you, and then you're going to realize, I said, heck, what the heck am I worried about? I am the Son of God. Heck, I am. You know the magnitude of this place. This is home. Find yourself. Don't waste another year of your everyday life. And sometimes you're going to have to push through. This is my journey, and I put my journey out for the world to see, to be studied for years. Because manifestation, raising the chrism, all of these things that I have implemented into my everyday life can be studied, can be tested, can be repeated. Because we only learn when we ask the question. As I taught my students years ago, you are to ask the question. And when people tell you to shut up, You're going to speak your truth. And that throat chakra is going to open up. And you are going to change your everyday life when you start speaking from authority. What's the authority? It's the internal authority that comes from the Sacred Heart. You could throw up the greens in the comments today. I appreciate each and every one of you. When you get this message, it is now your divine timing. It is divine timing to push this message forward. Make this the year that you change everything. And it's so powerful. And you know what? I've learned so much on my journey. You know, everything was a blessing. And you might be in a tough situation, or maybe you're scared. And I hope that your Uncle Mike can tell you, don't be scared. All right, get out of that brain, get into that heart. You're gonna feel it in the heart, and the body is a tuning fork to telling you the truth. You know, I could tell each and every one of you, I've been in a lot of situations in the past few years, and it didn't look so great for me. But in my heart of hearts, I said, you know what? It's going to be all right. And that's how God speaks to you. Please share this to millions of people. You could be in a tough situation. If you feel it in your soul, you know that it's your destiny, because you said, you know what? I feel like it's going to be all right. And again, even now, I feel something else. And I know it's going to be okay, even though that there's not even a stitch of evidence, because you can't go to the physical. The reality outside of you is not real. There is only I am, kid. I told you. I'm still here. This is how we change. This is how we evolve. This is how we ascend. All of these things are now part of our everyday life. If this message resonates with you, if you want to improve the quality of your life and the lives of others, why don't you smash the like button and share this video. Click subscribe. Daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. And let's get back into balance. Let's get back into alignment. Let's follow our heart and never back down to fear. Never back down to fear. All right? And I hope that I can inspire everyone that's listening to this. I never back down to fear. And sometimes on our journey, the fear could be for love. Love could be right in your face, and you run away from love. Your dream is right in front of your face, and you run away from it. So I hope that whoever hears this, never back down, never give in, just keep going. When this message finds you, it is your destiny to ascend. Yeah. It was a deep one today, right, Light Warriors? Yeah. Oh, this is the journey of self-discovery. I discovered a lot about me, yeah. And remembering, oh yeah, baby, remember who you are. Remember the power that you possess. And remember, we cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious that this is your divine timing. Let's roll out, warriors. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. Life is so much better when we are all together. If you find this message inspiring or know someone that could benefit from it, please share this message. Dear ones, I am Michael. Find us in the 5th dimension. Have a wonderful day living your everyday life. That's how it's done, kid. I love you guys very much. Oh, we're entering a great sacred time. It's about things that are special and sacred. Don't you want sacred love? Don't you want a sacred vocation in life? I love each and every one of you. Create the positive feedback loop. Pay this forward. It's good karma. And I'm here to teach what's important in life. Do you know what's important in life? I do. I love you all. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going.